Hey, so you're back and I'm happy and I'm hoping that you're going to go and find this one. This is Foxy by Pauline Cosmetics. Incidentally, if you're looking over there saying, wow, does everything come like this? This is how you give product to makeup artists.
I want to call them pollination, the pollination.
Experts.
Pollinators.
The pollinators.
The influencers, beauty influencers, some of our key customers, you know, those diehards who've been with us for a very long time.
I mean, I'm loving the packaging because the first time I got product from you, it did not look like this.
We upgrade. It's been a year.
Somebody has grown. But I want to touch on three things. I want to touch on your move with Adele. I want to touch on, I think I saw something about Miss Tourism. And I also want to talk about what it takes to create this, a liquid foundation. Let's start. You and Adele connected where? Or did she just tall, lanky come and find you?
We actually, I can't remember how we started this conversation, but we've been chatting here and there for about 2 years. So early last year, she had mentioned she wanted to do something, and then, you know, the conversations kind of morph into she wanted to create a capsule collection in honor of her late mom.
Yes.
So she already loved the dark purple lipstick. It was her signature look.
Yes.
So she said, let's do it. Let's go with the purple shade. So we literally just repackaged the same product and called it Limitless.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was beginning of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how did that do? I know she's excited. Every time I meet her, I'm like, how are you doing? She's like, oh, I did not know it was so much.
Yeah, so there's that, because there's one thing to have a product, and then there's all these other things that go into it. Small things as just how does the packaging look? Because I remember doing that back and forth with her, and actually we drew it out, and it was she knew what she wanted, but also putting that together into, it's a small piece of box.
It is.
There's not so much you can
do in there.
Put in there.
Yes.
Yeah, so fine tuning, and I have a really good design person, Fred, who literally, I was telling him all these ideas and he was like, I got it. Stop.
I got it.
Yeah, but then we had to go through different versions of the rendition and then onboard it, and then of course now we're selling a lipstick as a different lipstick, and, and messaging and communicating that, which luckily having Adele who's in media helps, because she knows how to talk
about her product.
Yes.
And then Miss Tourism came calling.
Wow, yeah. So
I remember that's when I was like, where's her liquid foundation? What is she doing? She's supposed to be busy doing something else.
And it was actually a lot trying to juggle. I'm trying to launch, because again, I don't want to do Miss Tourism without having this product.
Of course not.
But then I don't want to say no, because this is an opportunity. I'd actually always wanted to do Miss Tourism.
Something we talked about.
Yes, we talked about. You wrote it down last year. But then it's not like I went out, I'd been looking. And this is what I was talking about beginning of the year. This year brought some new opportunities that maybe I have been getting prepared to be in this moment. I don't think if Miss Tourism called last year, 2016,
you would have been ready.
I would not have been ready.
Okay.
So they called in March, which I was so excited. And I went over, so Miss Kamunge is the owner of Vera Beauty College, went over to see her, lovely woman, amazing passion, energy. We connected at Passion for Africa. And she was like, yeah, we want you to come on board and be the official makeup sponsor of Miss Tourism, of which, again, I was excited, but then I was having all these other things happening. So we didn't really touch base until towards the end. And that's when I was like, oh, there's so much to do.
Yes, 47 girls, 47 looks, 47.
And for them, they've done it so many times.
Yes.
It was like cavalier. It was like, yeah, the girls will
then
just come
and you will like, do.
Wanakula wapi? You know, all those things. But, you know, it's like I needed like a blueprint. They go like this and then they did. But it turned out to be an amazing experience. One, just having the girls, bonding with the girls. I spent a lot of time with them. I found, so this woman has so much passion to the point where I just was spending way more time than I needed to be doing, and got asked to be one of the judges. So that was amazing. That was an amazing experience.
But still, I kept asking you, where's the liquid foundation? What was going on? Okay, so is it really a labor event?
This was because I had been starting to work on this foundation a while ago. It starts with a conversation, and then you start thinking about what you want to do with it, but then you put it aside because you have other things. Because remember, I'm also running business day to day.
Of course.
So I completely underestimated this because I felt, I've been making products. This cannot be that much harder. But I went
and I've been wearing makeup.
Yeah, but and remember also I had a very bold, audacious. Because remember I wanted to be bold this year. I wanted to do a really wide range. Yeah.
How wide?
I wanted 15 to 20 shades. So just the process of first of all finding the right shade. Because remember, lipstick, you can pick red, blue, blah, blah, blah. Liquid foundations, it's like the same shades of brown.
So, and it's like when you get a color spectrum, like when you're trying, and it says, which yellow do you want? And then the painter brings a chart.
10 yellows.
And there's 10 yellows.
Yes. So there's that. From selecting the colors, narrowing down on the formula, which I was working on beginning of the year when I'd gone to the factory, and everything else in between, trying to figure out the packaging. I remember I sent you a bunch of
and I was
stuff.
like, and she sent me some shots with the yellow background. I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
But I was like, I know. I just want you to look at the packaging and tell me what you think. So to now finally making the product, which then that was the process. I completely underestimated that process of just selecting color and landing on, we narrowed down to 3 formulas. Then it was like, okay, let's make all the shades in these 3 formulas. We had 27 colors, which we then narrowed down to 19 shades, which then I had my team help me try to figure out what colors. It was a lot.
Okay, I'm still stuck at 27 down to 19.
Yes.
And then eventually, how many do we have in store?
7.
Are you kidding me?
7, because I didn't want to, again, yes, I was being bold and going for it, but I didn't want to launch 15 shades and then maybe you have 2 of the same colors that work together.
Yes.
So I wanted to launch the 7 shades and then use that to build up on the rest of the shades.
When people start telling you, I've tried it, but I don't have mine.
I don't have my color. So I really want anybody who's getting these foundations to give us feedback. If there's a color that that if you don't find your color, to let us know so that we can be able to create those shades.
But also something else I was going to say, and because of course my face was done just for this, because I have problems. I don't do face beats. I realized that when I looked at myself, I said, I still look like me. Because sometimes, sadly, when I buy something from an international line, I keep getting that white undertone. And then it's like a tide, and I'm like, no, I can't, I don't want. I don't want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so actually the whole reason, the whole thing that sparked this idea of starting Pauline Cosmetics was from the frustration of getting the right shade.
For us.
So remember, I was living, working, studying abroad, and a typical scenario is you walk into a store and there's 10 shades, a brand has like 10 shades, and it's the last 2 shades that's meant for us. And
they are nowhere near us.
All shades of black.
Apparently.
We have 2. The lighter shade for the lighter skin tone, and then 1 shade for the rest of us.
Yes.
So
if you're a little dark, a little caramelish, a little chocolatey, there's nothing for us, apparently.
So I wanted to make makeup for us, colors for our color, from the dark, rich
I like that,
tones.
colors for our color.
Yes. Dark, rich tones of South Sudanese women to the warm caramel shades of Eritrean, Somali, Ethiopian women.
Yes.
And we all feel included. That was very key. And then the other thing was to have the right foundation, because practically foundation is the base of your product.
It is.
So it has to sit right, because everything else is going to sit on top.
It can't be streaky and weird, and when you wear it, it
runs.
Yes.
Then it has to last long. So because me and you, we're busy.
Yes.
We don't have time to keep
patching our faces. Yes.
So making all that, making sure that all fit in the product, that description. And also the people who are making these products don't know people like us.
No.
So I'm literally teaching them. I'm like,
yes, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Just a moment here, because now I want to ask her to do something. But if you have a gathering of entrepreneurs, people going into business, I think you need to invite Nelly to talk, because she has told me about some of the things. Just finding the right bottle to put the product in is a science and a mission on its own. Sorting out the paperwork from KEBS.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's such an important conversation to have. I don't want you sitting here saying, Achi, she's saying what? It is important that people also understand, like, I want a jet, but you can't just have it.
I mean, it's there, it can make, but
what does it take?
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
You know? So finally, 9.
So finally 7. Then we go into production. In between, the machine breaks. So you know how, we do mass production, right? So you can, it's like you'd say, for example, you're using a big sufuria to make ugali.
To mix.
So if you're going to use this much unga, you're going to have to make all this ugali with this flour.
Unga, and then with this amount of water. And
yes. So the small pot breaks. Now you have to transfer to the big pot.
But because of the size of the pot, you need more ingredients.
Yeah. So I remember the manufacturer saying, yeah, we need to increase the volumes and the quantity, which meant I needed to pay more, literally. So at that time, I think I was like, okay, I'm almost done. So that happened because then...
Okay, so here's a question. You never thought, nah, enough.
And I was done, because remember that whole process of sorting and trying to tell them
and
no.
Now we are at...
Because for them, they also don't understand how somebody can be this dark, like that dark. Like, no, I want it's darker than that.
Darker.
Like, no, you can't have it that dark.
Yes.
No,
yes.
we're dark like that.
We're dark like that, yes.
To now, the machine is breaking. So, because remember, doing the packaging, it's more time. I was supposed to launch this thing in June, July. By June, July is when the machine was breaking. Yes. So it means we have to wait for the packaging to be made again, which takes another 30 to 40 days to make the packaging. And then, of course, I need to cough up more money to continue production.
But that's what I'm asking you. At what point do you say, it's not worth it, I'm not doing this? It never occurred to you? Let's shelve this.
It's the frustration of it. It's the, I'm so fed up with this. It's the, you're just, you become an angry human being. I remember, I think that point my staff had enough with me, because, all that stress, you carry it everywhere. But it had to continue, because I told all of you guys I'm bringing foundations.
You're bringing, yes, actually you have. But now that you've told me, if you'd come and told me, Caroline, I cannot do this thing. Imagine bizarre. It's like, when can I buy you a drink? Prosecco? For 2?
But it had to happen. So that continued. And then towards the end, we're ready to ship the product. And so we're sending it to the agent. It has to be shipped. And they're like, we're not shipping your product. It's liquid. And the Kenyan, so there's apparently new regulations. You cannot ship, especially liquid products. They're considered dangerous substances. So perfumes and liquid foundations, liquid products, they have to have a special, there's a report, it's called MSDS report. I had never heard of this thing. So
get this chick to talk about the journey of making something. We go to the shop and you're like, ta-da, it is here.
Yep.
But she doesn't have my color.
Yep.
We don't even know the journey.
So I'm like, I'm an MSDS, what?
Ahu.
And then the factory is telling me, oh no, we don't give you that. You have to get a third party. I'm in Kenya. What third party am I supposed to find?
Yes.
So yeah, I was supposed to get a third party who's supposed to do an independent inspection of the product and create and generate this document so that my products can. That took another month. In between, Caroline, China decides to go on a 7-day holiday. It was like, yeah.
But it came.
It came,
and
eventually. It's here. It's in stores. It's amazing. It looks amazing. So it was a trip. It was a trip. But at the same time, I think it's a learning curve. And whenever you're doing anything new, really, there's always the idea that I'm just going to do this thing. and you know, you immerse yourself into it, and you get to learn a lot of things. But I feel like this whole process.
Now you're scary because there's something I wanted to ask you, but
Okay.
now I've just
Ask.
I can't.
Okay, now
After what you
I'm
said.
recovering. I'm halfway recovered. So
Halfway.
halfway recovered. I'm still traumatized, but more than anything, it's just beautiful to see this.
There's
Whenever I see
something
this,
I
it's
want to.
amazing.
Could you subscribe and come back? Because this is a big ask. I have a big ask. I have a very big ask.
Okay, now I'm scared.
No, I have a very,
Now
I
I'm
have a
scared.
very big ask.
All right.
And it's literally go big or go home.
You don't want a jet, do you? Because you talked about it.
No, the jet we will get eventually.
Okay.
But we have to do. Subscribe. Come back. I'm gonna ask her for something, and then she's going to walk out on me, and it's okay. No, I'm scared. You can't be scared.
Not after this.
No.